Hey folks, long time no see. Good to see you. Sorry, it's life gets in the way, right? It's been about a month since I posted anything, and we're just life gets. I've been trying to make this video for a month now, so hopefully this one will actually go through. So thanks to I got some new subscribers. Thank you, welcome. I really appreciate you guys subbing. It's very kind of you. I hope everybody's making it through the hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico and Florida, which I guess Irma's getting ready to hit maybe today, tomorrow. The wildfires in Oregon right now in the Columbia Gorge. Thinking about I have friends up there in Oregon right now. Thinking about them. So it's been a weird week for natural disasters. But let's get to a more positive point of view. Music. More importantly, records. So I've got a stack of records here. These, this batch right here aren't very common. You probably won't see these in different collections or maybe the VC. There's a couple that you might see, but some of these are just pretty obscure, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to call them rare. I just don't see them in the VC. So hopefully I'll turn you guys on to something today. And most of them are instrumental, jazzy, psychedelic. The usual thing that you'll find over here. Okay, so the first album is Tragedia by Andrew Rudden. Andrew Rudden. This is his only album. It came out in 1968. It was basically, I think all of it was recorded on the Moog synthesizer, and it sounds like very early electronics. Think of Morton Subotnick, Silver Apples of the Moon, similar in that type of vein, where there's a lot of cool noises and sounds bleeding into each other, but as far as music or a beat, there's not much to be found here. But if you are a fan of early electronic, especially like late 60s, not bad. Not a bad listen. And I don't think it's that expensive either. The next one I have is by Mario Molino's soundtrack, Inside. And Mario, he was known for his library music, like instrumental soundtracks, TV type stuff, stuff that you could get on his albums and maybe copy, put on your film, something to that effect. This was, when I bought it, it was advertised as like a lost krautrock masterpiece. It may have been lost because I'd never heard of it before. I don't think it's really krautrock. And masterpiece, it's pushing it, but it does sound good. There's flaws in this album where you're really getting into the mood. It does sound like a good, nice krautrock album, as far as the instrumentation, but then they'll go ahead and they'll have something kind of a happy playing, like a Pop and Circumstance type orchestral, and that kind of ruins the flow. Still recommend it. And I'm doing needle drops today, so I'm going to do a needle drop of this one right here. So, hopefully, you got a good feel for it. Okay, so the next two that I have, these are, you're always exploring, finding different genres, and the genre of the month for me is doom jazz, or jazz noir. And the group that I have here, I got two albums by them, is Borin and their Club of Gore. Yes, it sounds like some type of death metal band, Club of Gore. But this is what they call dark jazz. What is dark jazz? It's your kind of traditional jazz instruments played very low tempo, very slow, almost with some ambient mixed in. and it's very relaxing. It sounds very good, very out there, otherworldly, and it's amazing when you listen to it how slow these guys play their instruments. I can't imagine doing this every night. Just it's got to be painstakingly slow. But I've been listening. On YouTube, there's a couple of bands I've been listening to. The Kilimanjaro Dark Jazz Ensemble and the Mount Fuji Doom Jazz Corporation. Pretty much the same vein as what Born in Dyneville Gore is, but those are they're expensive. I could probably buy one for about $50 or $60, and all the way up to maybe $300. I was pricing them out, but I just didn't want to. So I started looking for other bands, and that's when I found this one. So this is still Born Under Dyneville Gore. This is just another album. It's called Black Earth. This one came out maybe 2005, and what I just showed, Dolores, came out in 2008. So, and they're still around. They're still making records, and it sounds really good. Just nice, really. There's nothing you really see here. Just dark jazz. And I've got a couple of samples, so go ahead and listen to those. See, there's a charm to that, right? I mean, there's I don't know, it's almost like a Twin Peaks. If you've ever watched Twin Peaks, that really dark, foggy, nighttime, black coffee mood. I dig it. I'm going to keep exploring that genre. I've got a couple more records on the way. Who knows how far down the rabbit hole I'll go on that one. Next album, Mugstar. Ad Marginum. Mugstar is a band from Liverpool, England. Mostly krautrock, space rock, instrumental type music. This is this came with a DVD, so I'm assuming this is a soundtrack for the DVD. But the DVD, it's not a movie. It's not even a music video. I've watched part of it because I can't get all the way through it. It looks like they went out and were photographing themselves. The band was, and they manipulated the photographs. It's very trippy, very hallucinogenic. I guess you'd have to be in the right frame of mind to really get that the movie. But as far as the music goes, it kind of sounds a lot like the cover, kind of bleak and gray. So let's take a listen to that. Mugstar's got other albums out. They have a lot of albums out. Some of them, this one's kind of bleakish, but a lot of their albums are more upbeat. It was just a project they were doing, I guess. All right, this one, Pachyderm, 2 Weeks of Spring is the name of the album. The group is called Pachyderm. These guys are from Canada. One's a Frenchman, one's from England. I guess they went over to Canada and met each other. And they make great music. You know, this is a band, if you're into the experimental, but very acceptable, almost kraut world music. A good part of this is instrumental. There's some singing in both English and French. It's like a trip around the world. You know, sometimes you're in a French cafe, sometimes you're in a Moroccan desert, sometimes you feel like you're in a rainforest. It's a great listening experience. And so, once again, Pachyderm, 2 Weeks of Spring. And I'll play you one song. This has got some French singing in it. I think it sounds pretty cool. See, I think more people should know about these guys. Pachyderm. Alright, so here's a split. I got this pretty cheap, and the reason I got it is for the band Vocacash right here. Vocacash, some of the band members are members of another band that I like called F.I. F/I. They're a great space rock band. I mean, one of the best in my opinion. So I wanted to check this out, and found it pretty cheap. And like I said, it's a split between Vocacash and another band called Crampuso, which I don't know anything about Crampuso. I've looked all over the place. I can't find anything. I don't know if this is a one-off or they got other albums. I think Discogs didn't show much either. So let's go to the Vocacash side. I'll play you two samples. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm just going to play Vocacash. I'll tell you why in a minute. This sounds pretty good. It's got a drony, ambient sound. It has a beat, so I mean you can definitely get into it. It's not too far out there, but it takes you where you want to be. It's about 20 minutes of just kind of weird, trippy music. It doesn't go as far as the compositions of, let's say, a Pink Floyd, but I guess you could maybe call it background music, or if you really get into it and just put your mind in it, maybe it'll take you someplace. It's just okay. The other side, Crampuso, which I'm not going to play, it just sounds like you're in the hull of a spaceship. Think of that. Hull of a spaceship, and you kind of hear the engines rumbling, maybe an asteroid or a rock hitting the hull every so often. It sounds more like noise, kind of almost an ambient type of bass noise than music. You know what? I will play this just so you can listen to it. But it's kind of uneventful. I don't really get into the Crampuso part. So let's play both samples from Vocacash, Vocacash and Crampuso. there you go. I mean, you can buy the album pretty cheap. I guess I just kind of bought it for that one band. Now, the next two, these are albums that I listen to a lot. I listen to this band a whole lot. This is a little different than what I've been showing, and you've probably heard of this band, Monster Magnet. And I got actually two albums by Monster Magnet here. So there's one, there's two. So let's talk about this one first. Both of these albums are re-imagings of original records. So what that means is the lead singer Dave Windorf went in and took the songs and pretty much tore them apart, put them back together. Some of them are really psychedelic, some of them are slowed down, some of them maybe are sped up a bit. I think the results are great. They've taken these songs, some of the songs are very, you can't even recognize them as the original. So I think they've done a great job here as far as like a reimagining. So this is from an album called The Last Patrol. This album is called Milking the Stars. See, this is just standard black vinyl. But the artwork is great. If you've never heard Monster Magnet, they're like a heavy psychedelic metal band, but nothing too heavy as far as metal goes. Maybe a hard rock band. So they play loud but they've got hooks and there's all types of spaciness going on. I mean, they're not lazy songwriters. They put everything they have into their songs and their performances. It's great. If you haven't listened to them and you're kind of into that, I definitely check them out. Now, this is kind of a cool picture. This is their reimagining of their album called Mastermind. This one's called Cobras and Fires. If you're selling hallucinations, baby, I'll take Cobras and Fire. It's kind of badass. It's like, I'll take any bad trip you can throw at me. And see, it's a cool bedroom. You got the turntable there, and I don't know if you would call that like a 70s. It looks very like a modern 70s, but it's a psychedelic listening chamber. And I'm not going to play any samples of that. And the last one that we have here is an album that I bought a couple years ago called Cosmic Machine. Now, what this is, it says right across the top, it's a voyage across the French cosmic and electronic avant-garde music, 1970 to 1980. So there's basically the decade of the 70s. This is French music, or French electronic music. It's very good. It's not dark. It's very, it's pretty poppy actually. And let's see, some of the folks you might have heard on here. Serge Gainsbourg's on here. Droids, Space, Magic Fly. So it's kind of some of it goes into like almost a disco-y type of a sound, but it sounds good. It's fun to listen to. I mean, I know disco kind of sucked back in the 70s, but yeah, I kind of reevaluating some of the songs, some of the production. I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. And I'm not saying this is a disco record. I'm just saying it seems like it's a little influenced by the times and some of these sounds here, especially on like a song called Magic Fly by Space. What speaking of, well, there's Jean-Michel Jarre's on it. I was thinking there's someone else, but I guess not. But anyway, there's lots of, if you want to look right there, there's the folks there on it. Yeah, I'm not going to do a needle drop with this one. I highly recommend this. They put out a second comp. I can't remember the years on that. It might have been through the 80s. I can't remember. I almost picked it up. I don't know why I didn't. Probably because I picked something else up. There's only so much money, right? I mean, there's millions of records, and you got to be very choosy with what you buy. So, anyway, that's it. Hopefully, I turned you on to something cool this week. I would go out and explore a lot of those bands, especially the Monster Magnet and the Doom Jazz, Boren and Der Club of Gore. But until next time, you guys be cool, be safe, and we'll see ya. Take care.